right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, it's your boy Dash Tru Inferno. And yes, it is now time as we are a few days away from Super Bowl 50. I believe it's 50 or 51, one of them two. But anywho, half past the century mark of Super Bowl will be this Sunday. We'll leave it at that. Now, as far as my pick, now going back to 2 weeks ago, and maybe even 3 weeks ago as well, I said whoever wins between Denver and New England was not obviously was going to go to the Super Bowl, but was going to win it all against Carolina, because I had Carolina where either them or Seattle, one or two, was going to beat Arizona and go to the Super Bowl. Well, I know that Carolina is somewhat of a favorite because they're the popular pick over Denver, but I'm going with Denver. I think Denver will win the Super Bowl this year. And yes, Carolina got a mean defense. I know this. But I think it's something about Denver's defense that is more menacing than Carolina's. And I think Denver got a slightly better offense than Carolina. Either way, it's going to be one heck of a game, and it's going to be one of, if not the best Super Bowl games ever. But I'm gonna roll with Denver. I think there's something about this, it's just like the Ray Lewis season. The only difference here was I was picking against Baltimore all throughout the postseason, all throughout the AFC side of the postseason, that is. And then once they made it to the Super Bowl, I'm like, screw it, I'm going with Baltimore, and boom, they won it all. It's kind of got that same feel this year with Peyton Manning possibly playing in his last game. Who knows? Nobody knows. No word came out or anything like that. But and actually, if memory serves correctly, I think like at the end of last year's Super Bowl, I said Denver was going to win it all. So it's kind of nice to go with a pick that you made a year ago. I didn't make it on YouTube. I kind of made it among my peers or among myself. I forgot what the circumstances were. But way before this past season started, I said Denver was going to win it all. And here they are in a position to win it all. And I'm sticking with them to win it all. So there you go with that. Now let's move on to the NBA All-Star lineup. As I said I was going to do last week, and the system's messed up because I remember back in the day when you get to vote for your starters, you get to pick the following position per conference: 1 point guard, 1 shooting guard, 1 small forward, 1 power forward, and 1 center. Then they changed the format from 2 guards, 2 forwards, 1 center. Doesn't matter who the guards are or who the forwards are or what actual position they play. So we've seen it time and time again in the past where it was, let's say, if we were to go out west, we would say, oh, Stephen Curry and Russell Westbrook are your starting guards for the rest. And I'm like, they're both point guards. Or to be more specific, Stephen Curry and Tony Parker. Or Chris Paul and Tony Parker. And it's like, no, those are legitimate point guards. Well, I had little no problem with it. Whatever. Then of course the forwards were at one point in time it was like Carmelo and LeBron James as your starting 2 forwards, even though both of them are really small forwards, which is kind of blasphemous. Then of course you had a center. This year it's retarded. Now they're saying 2 backcourt and 3 front court. So which brings me to the starting lineup. So the starting lineup looks like this. Let's go out to the East first, since I'm more of an East Coast guy. So the starters goes as follows: Kyle Lowry, Dwayne Wade, both of them guards, Carmelo Anthony, Paul George, LeBron James. All right, then we go out west and we got the following: Russell Westbrook, Stephen Curry, and again both of those are guards. Then we got the front court: Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and Kobe Bryant. And notice there's some things missing from both of these starting lineups. Oh, I wonder what it could be. I don't know. How about a big man? Yeah, there's nobody in the starting lineup that is taller than 6'9", and that is Paul George. And Kevin Durant too. But still though, like, let's be real. Everybody here is either a small forward or a shooting guard or a point guard. Nobody's a power forward or a center. But yeah, you could make the argument of, well, LeBron and Carmelo can play the power forward. Kevin Durant can play the power forward, but that's not their actual positions. And yeah, they could play the power forward, but none of them can play the freaking center, which is missing from the starting lineup. And the worst part about it is, if you go through the entire All-Star lineup, that's including the reserves, on both conferences, you only have a grand total of 2 to 3 centers. That's it. Just 2 to 3. So, again, let's go through the reserves, starting with the East. So, we got Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan, Paul Millsap, Andre Drummond, Chris Bosh, John Wall, Isaiah Thomas. And then our rest, you got James Harden, Chris Paul, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, and LaMarcus Aldridge. And again, 2 to 3 centers. And actually, real talk, yeah, 2 to 3 centers. Now, you could make a case for, well, Chris Bosh could be a center. He's 6'1", the same height as Andre Drummond, which is true. But, you know, he don't rate as much as Andre Drummond. And again, he listed as a forward. Well, some of you may make the case for, well, LaMarcus Aldridge could play the center. He's 6'1". And again, he don't raise as much as Andre Drummond. And again, he plays a center. And the reason why I said 2 to 3 is because Anthony Davis' prime position is a forward. Now, if you go to NBA.com website and you look at the starting lineup, they got Anthony Davis as forward/center and DeMarcus Cousins center/forward. So that's why I say 2 to 3. And then we look at the snubs. And if you look at the snubs, which is another crazy thing here, let's start out again with the East. And the biggest snubs are, you guessed it, big men. So we're talking Al Horford and Paul Gasol. Those two, and they were and going back to like NBA and TNT, who announced the starting lineup. They not the one who gave it or picked it, but they the one, not the starting lineup, but the reserves and the starting lineup. They announced both of them for these interests. They were talking about Chris Bosh being interchangeable with Al Horford and Paul Gasol, which is true. And I'm going to throw in one more snub out there that they didn't mention. That's Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson had a pretty good year, in my opinion. I mean, if I look at, you know, the guards who's backing him up, or the guards that got in, like a Kyle Lowry, for example, both of their numbers are interchangeable. And the reason why I had no problem with Kyle Lowry getting in, even though the Vans voted him in, the reason why I had no problem with Kyle Lowry getting in, because the Raptors are they got the second best record in the East. And he's the reason why. Okay, I have no problem with that. And then you look at the other guards, like the John Walls, the Isaiah Thomas, the Jimmy Butlers, and the DeMar DeRozans. I have no problems with any of them getting in because they are putting up really good numbers. Even Isaiah Thomas from the Boston Celtics, really good numbers, really good numbers. I had no problems with the guards that were selected at the reserves. I have no problem. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I have to agree with the NBA and TNT crew in saying that Jimmy Butler should start over Dwayne Wade. Should Dwayne Wade get in at all? I would probably say yeah, because of star power and his veteranship alone. I don't know what his numbers are like, but yeah, there you go with that. Now, moving out west, the snubs out there, obviously one of the biggest snubs is Dirk Nowitzki. He's one. Damian Lillard is another, as is Marc Gasol and Tim Duncan. So, and it's kind of ironic because if you look at the rest, you would normally expect one of the big three, Parker, Ginobili, or Duncan, to be in there, but no, it's LaMarcus Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard. It's the newer generation getting in, and next year we'll probably go see Danny Green get in. So, yeah, the big three are working their ways out the door. But I do find it pretty interesting. Well, not I, but I think it's somewhat shocking that Dirk got snubbed and Marc Gasol got snubbed, and of course Damian Lillard got snubbed. But this is what happens when you let the fans vote on this small game BS right here, and that's what this is. Because here's what should happen regarding the starting lineup. Starting with the East, LeBron James should start without question. Paul George should start. because he put up better numbers than he did before he broke his leg. Kyle Lowry should start, and Jimmy Butler should start over Dwayne Wade. And then you're going to need a big man, thus Andre Drummond. And because of that, then you could put in a Paul Gasol, which leads to the question of, who you going to leave out? Well, I would probably, it is a tough one. It would probably be between Dwayne Wade and maybe John Wall. I don't know. It would be a tough one. But I'll probably lean towards Dwayne Wade being the guy left out over John Wall, which is unbelievable. But again, it depends on what the Wade's done are. If they really good, then I'll probably say John Wall would be left out, even though it would be a close one. And he would obviously be a snub. But for the most case, that's how I would do these. Now the rest is tricky because of the whole this is Kobe Bryant's last season fiasco. So the starting guards, Steph Curry should be starting. And Chris Paul, I believe, should be starting over Russell Westbrook. Then you got, this is tough. Kobe Bryant should be starting. And then I would probably go with Draymond Green over Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard. And then the starting center should be DeMarcus Cousins, Then what I would do is I would put, and then you're going to need somebody who played the center position. And the problem is, there's Marc Gasol, there's Dirk Nowitzki. It's really tough. So, because Kawhi got to be in the All-Star game. Kevin Durant got to be in the game as well. Anthony Davis and LaMarcus Aldridge got to be in as well. So that means another guard would have to, and then, I say Draymond Green be starting. And then what that means is a guard would have to be left off, and you can't take off Russell Westbrook. You can't take off James Harden, and you can't take off Klay Thompson. So I would probably rework this lineup, and the 12 guys that they got in there, I would leave it. Again, if this was not Kobe Bryant's last year, I can't even say that either. I don't know. I can't leave Kobe off. Even if this was not his last year, it would be tough. But I think the 12 guys that got in would still be in. But I would rework that starting lineup. But yeah, there's no center position thing. It's stupid. This whole small ball thing, I think, is pretty dumb. And yeah, there you go with that. So with all that out the way, as you can clearly see, the game is over. And I did my thing once again. Y'all know who this is. This is the new Jay Gatsby, a.k.a. the new Stephen S. Smith, a.k.a. Genuine the Second. Saying peace out, y'all. And see y'all next time.